My name's GuyKesTV and I've been professionally reviewing mountain bikes for over 22 years. And today, the bike I'm reviewing and doing this tech talk round on is Santa Cruz's brand new Hightower CC. So this is the CC frame. That means it's the top level carbon frame, the lightest frame that Santa Cruz do. There's a C model as well, which comes in complete bikes, and an aluminium A model. So this is the XO1 build. So as you'd expect, SRAM, Eagle XO1, 10 to 50 cassette, carbon crank there. It normally comes with a race face wheel set, but these are upgraded with Santa Cruz's Reserve 30 carbon wheels. So that saves you about 200 grams over the alloy wheels. It gets you a 29mm internal carbon rim with these lifetime warranted. You can see that these are super strong rims with these, you know, they're fully bespoke to Santa Cruz with these little mounds for the spoke reinforcement there, and they were the first people to go with a fully lifetime warranty on wheels. Other people have followed it up there, basically because Santa Cruz have forced them to do it. You know, they couldn't sell up against the fact that Santa Cruz had offered a lifetime replacement on the rims, and these are tough as hell. Not the lightest, but they ride really, really beautifully. Superb ride feel to complement the frame, because Santa Cruz have been dialing their carbon frames now for donkey's years, and they have got a brilliant frame feel now through the sort of squared tube sets they use. But there's a load of new detailing they've introduced on this bike in terms of, you know, they introduced these new sort of flush fit cable ports on the Bronson and the Megatab, but they've now moved them from the down tube and the side of the head tube right up to the front of the head tube. So as you can see, they spout straight out and there's no conflict with the paint. So, and it also makes them a neater gear routing. So really slick shifting, slightly refined through there, the way it comes through from the down tube into the swing arm, and all the lines for the cables and for the hydraulic pipes are fully tubed, so you're not rattling around trying to find them. There's internal plumbing that makes them really, really easy to set up if you do any servicing on them. Other features, you've got tailgate guard if you're throwing it into the back of your pickup. You've got sump guard if you're hitting rocks or if there's roost coming off the back of the front tyre. You've got a really, really chunky chainstay protector now with these little ribs on top to really quieten it down. You've got more protection through there. You've got a shock cover there, because obviously shock drives through this hole in the base of the seat tube there. And then the lower link is hidden in what Santa Cruz called the pizza oven. But you can see this is the new configuration that Santa Cruz are moving to on more and more of their models. Started on the V10. They used to have the shock driven from this linkage, and the shock was up there or down there. But now they're moving more and more to this lower driven shock. And the bikes typically have less anti-squat, more mid-stroke support, but a really supple start as well. Kinematic for this bike is fully arranged around using an air shock. I mean, you could squeeze a coil in there, but they don't recommend it because it's designed to use that natural progression of the air shock. And I have to say, it works absolutely superbly. I've just been running off a basic SAG setting today. Haven't had to touch the volume spacers in there. It comes standard with one volume spacer, but you could go to 2 or 3 if you wanted a bit more progression, but I really can't see you needing that. I've certainly not felt it blowing through the travel at all. And the same way, although it comes with this pedal assist on there, you know, you have got the chance to firm it up. Again, really didn't ever feel the need to do it. Even on the road, it's just so well sorted. There's such a stiff connection between the front end and the back end, and it's so well balanced, the actual pedal feedback and the drive delivery. Never felt any need to lock the back end out at all. And unlike some bikes, you know, rebound and your low speed compression are really, really easy to adjust on the fly if you need to. Really neat the way they've packaged all of this as well. The way the linkage is now straight line in front of the seat tube. I mean, they brought that in the Bronson, but the whole bike just looks really, really sorted now. Boost back end as you'd expect. It's a 434mm chainstay. Mid-length, it's not super, super taut, but it's not super long either. So a nice balance. I have to say the whole geometry of the bike is just spot on in terms of balance. You've got this little, I'm going to have to flip the bike around to show you the other side, because that's where you can see the flip chip and also some of the other detailing in there. But that drops the bottom bracket to 340 rather than 343mm if you've got it in the lower setting, and it changes the seat angle, which because they've gone with a really good steep seat angle for really excellent climbing poise on this bike. It's 76.5 or 76.8 depending on when they have that chip. And up front you've got a 65mm head angle, 65.2mm head angle, or 65.5 in the steeper setting. And that combines with a really long reach well, comparatively for Santa Cruz, they're gradually creeping longer and longer. This bike gets a 473 in the low setting, 470 in the higher setting. So again, it's slightly longer, slightly slacker than previous bikes, and you're also running with a 42mm offset on this 29er fork, which again is quite a new thing for Santa Cruz. They've spec'd 42mm offset as standard, and they've gone with Lyric. They've gone with the RockShox fork. All CC bikes get this RockShox Lyric Ultimate fork, absolute top of the range. It's winning all the group tests at the moment, and it's a really, really good match for this bike. It's got such a broad bandwidth in terms of how much time you spend tuning it. Even if you don't get it to an optimum tune, it still works really, really well. It does all the hard work and all the sorting out for you, basically. It's such a capable damper, that new Charger, the 2.1, so well sorted that it's a great just get on and go nuts bike. It won't bite you. I've been working off just the baseline settings, and the control, the support has been brilliant, and yet I'm pretty much getting nearly full travel, and you've got full tuning options up here. You've got your low speed and your high speed compression. That matches what you've got on the rear shock, which again, the Super Deluxe shock is just so easy to set up compared to some of the Fox piggyback shocks, which can be a right trial. I've had month-long fights with trying to get set up right on bikes very similar to this, slightly different blue, but similar in terms of travel. I mean, this is 140 on the rear, 150 on the front, but that's long enough where shock setup can sometimes be a real pain in the arse. But on this Hightower, it's just been absolutely dialed from the get-go. Tyre choice is always going to be something personal. Santa Cruz has gone with a Minion DHR2 in 29.2.4, 3C, so triple compound, Max Terra, EXO. So relatively light, and it's a really good compound, 3C, and Minion DHR, huge amounts of braking and cornering grip, pretty much the benchmark for braking and cornering grip, but not the fastest rolling tyre. You could certainly put a DHF on here, or even a faster tyre on the rear and get a faster rolling bike. But I was speaking to Seb at Santa Cruz, and he said the decision was they just wanted, they wanted a tyre that had a really, really good shape in 2.4, because it fits between the 2.5 that they run on the Mega Tower, which is the long travel bike, and the 2.3, which they'll be fitting to another bike, which you can probably guess what it is, but I'm not allowed to talk about yet. He was saying one of their product managers, Josh, has actually built up the bike with a Pike fork in 150 and a straight through can on the back, just a standard deluxe, to make a lighter, kind of more, well, just kind of, I guess, more trail, sort of almost XC style bike. And that's totally fine. It works brilliantly still. And, you know, and run lighter tyres. You could go Forecaster and Recon Race on this if you wanted. And, you know, and still have all that travel, still have all that geometry and all that ultra composed chassis feel, but knock a couple of pounds out of the bike pretty easily. So, and that's the beauty of this Hightower. It's such a beautiful, versatile bike. And I feel bad because the previous Hightower kind of came in at a time when there was quite a lot of confusion about wheel sizes. You know, was 29er dying out? Was 27 plus the next thing? I mean, this can take 27 plus, but they're just not packaging it with it on any of their complete builds. Was 27.5 going to win, you know, take over everything? And now 29 has come back hard. It's gone, I'm faster, I offer better grip. The geometry is sorted now. The wheels are great. The tyre ranges are great. All the problems that Dog 29 and before, we've got it totally dialed. I'm just faster, and I just offer more control going up, going down. I'm just easier to ride. And this bike absolutely capitalises on that. It just does so much, so well. Yes, there is a price premium, but moving around to this far side now, hope it's not too much in shadow, but you can see here, you know, all the bearings now, lifetime warranty, same as the frame. You get free bearing replacement for life. You get free frame replacement, no questions asked. If you smash this bike up, Santa Cruz will sort you out another one. If you go with the carbon rims, go with these Reserve 30 rims, you get lifetime replacement on the rims as well. Very few other people are offering this level of customer support, just no questions asked. And if you can see here, there's your little high-low chip there. Comes set in low, which is always a positive sign. This bike is set up to shred with these tyres and it in low, and that massive Santa Cruz bar. I haven't really talked about the cockpit end. Massive Santa Cruz bar for maximum leverage, medium length 50mm stem, but with that short offset fork, it's just such a sorted package. Then you've got Kodar SC brakes, which are my absolute favourite brake. The amount of control you get from these big levers and the 4-pot calipers down the wheel is just so sublime. And just let you know, do the whole brake hard and late, and then let the bike take the corner full flat out. It's just yeah, why wouldn't you want the best brakes that you could possibly have? And it's great that Santa Cruz have recognised that. I mean, even Santa Cruz's grips win group test reviews. You know, the bars win handlebar group tests. And you've got, on the UK bikes, you've got this new KS dropper post, new lever there, long stroke dropper on the lev. So you got, and then on the US and other global spec bikes, you get the brand new reverb. A little bit of spec difference there. And also, I should point out that on the correct bike spec, it should come with a colour match sticker compared to the rest of the frame, which incidentally, that's the other colour option on the frame, is that sort of tan coloured that the Santa Cruz lettering is in. But yeah, it shouldn't have a red fork. This was actually a scratch build put together at the last minute, so I could bring this video out right on launch day. So massive thanks to Santa Cruz for doing that for me. And coming in closer on the shock here, although obviously you can't see it inside, they've gone for quite a radical tune. They've gone for not only a light, where most people run a standard medium in terms of compression and rebound. They've also gone for an extra light tune on the check valve. So it's a super supple, super sensitive shock there. I mean, it's not a trunnion shock, so they're losing a bit of sensitivity by not having a bearing on there, but they make that up by the way the shock actually moves the oil around inside itself. So that back wheel, that DHR on the back, feels totally stuck down. If you watch the live ride video, you'll see there are actually parts of the ride where I'm wishing this thing would actually break traction and let me get away with pushing, but it just won't. It just keeps gripping and keeps, and when you're coming back down again, it just keeps ripping. They've kind of pitched it as their greatest hits album on wheels, and I have to say, I think that's exactly what they've managed here. And considering they are one of the greatest of the current bike brands, that's one hell of a statement and one hell of a delivery. Whatever kind of all-round mountain biking, unless you're at the extremes of XC or full-on park and free ride, if you're just a general mountain biker who wants to just have a go at everything and have that made as still really involving, I mean, it never numbs or just muffles the trail, it always keeps you really involved through that damper on the front and the support through the shock at the rear and the frame stiffness, and the handling's alive enough that it really keeps you engaged with what you're doing. It never just smothers and anaesthetizes the experience, but you have so much control and confidence and capability. It lets you get away with so much, even when you're riding like a donkey like I was today. This Hightower is just such a sorted machine. So thanks massively to Santa Cruz for letting me be a bike for the video. Thanks to the guys of Ilkley MTB for creating some stunning trails that I've ridden today. Just a quick whip round. Thanks to Sweet Protection for the gear I'm riding in. Thanks to Riders Eyewear for the shades. Thanks to Scott for the grenade pads. Thanks to Bontrager for the boots. And of course, thanks to Bontrager for the bum bag as well, and Camelback for bottle and this chest protector, which is an absolute godsend when I'm using chest mounted camera. Thanks for watching. As always, please consider subscribing to my Patreon channel and make sure you click notifications below to get updates of any fresh videos that are coming. There's a whole lot in the pipeline coming soon. Any comments, any feedback, just get busy below, and hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please watch again.